Welcome to Hazardous Endeavors.
Woo!
Hello.
Ah, yes. Back again.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Digital and Dice's 5th edition actual play podcast. And joining me today is Lindo Espina, the beautiful Thorn.
That is me.
Elliot Frostmoon.
These people.
Jaxom Shaw.
I'm bleeding more than usual right now.
And Wilf Tradewind.
That's because we're in a bleeding awful place.
Yeah.
And where we last left our intrepid adventurers, you had made your way down to, I believe, the second level of the Temple of DOmination, an extraplanar temple to Bane that you accessed underneath the forgotten village within the rotting hills. You have already passed through the path of conquest with the Hall of Blades, and you have made your way through the path of strength, which required Jaxom and others to lift a large stone block with some chains that were a little bit sharper than you would have liked them to be.
Well, thankfully I healed myself.
Indeed. Which leaves you now with the entrance to the next level down. You were about to head down there, but there was a little bit of a back and forth due to the rising attitude of one of your own. Elliot, who early on in the dungeon upon entering, seems to have gotten a bit of an attitude.
He has his panties in a bunch.
I do not, Lindo. Keep focused.
I am focused about your panties. Bunching.
I do not wear panties, Lindo.
Huh.
Much more of a box of briefs, lad.
Huh.
Right then. So, making your way down the hallway that has opened up beyond the door, beyond the puzzle you solved.
Well, we solved it very well. We were the best at puzzles.
You seem to make your way through a bit of a winding series of steps and hallways that don't seem to necessarily match up with anything you saw on the outside of this temple on your way in. As a matter of fact, it almost seems like they double back and would have crossed over and through themselves several times. But sure enough, as you make your way through, you see what looks to be light coming down the other end of the tunnel.
Oh, what terrible, wonderful thing are we gonna run into next?
You mean terrible, terrible thing, right?
Yeah, I do mean terrible, terrible thing.
Okay, because everything has been terrible, terrible.
Yeah, I quite agree on that.
Our paladin is all like spiked. And
He's just holy.
Ha ha ha.
Okay.
He is not holy. He healed himself. He's fine.
Okay.
Do you need a nap?
Yeah, I don't think this is the wisest place to take a nap. That is just me, but I would not be comfortable sleeping here.
So, you make your way down the hallway, and as you approach the light at the other end, you find yourself in a room that is about 25 feet from left to right, but seems to stretch out about 70 feet or so ahead of you. Directly in line with the hallway you're leaving is a 5-foot wide walkway that seems to be suspended somehow at least 15 feet above a churning black goo or ichor of some kind that seems to be filling the room from, again, about 15 feet down to, well, you're unsure of its depth. At the far end of the room, you see what looks to be an open doorway leading down another tunnel. Above that doorway is what looks to be a green crystal in the shape of an eye. And dead center in the middle of the room, which, with the walkway splitting around it, you actually see what looks to be a black obelisk sticking up out of the walkway itself, about 3 or 4 feet across and about 7 or so feet tall. And as the four of you make your way in and step onto the walkway, the door behind you grinds shut.
Ah, yes. Doom. Understood.
Sounds about right for this place.
Right, so what's the puzzle and what's with the murder puddles?
I don't know. Did Elliot do your little magic-y thing where you can tell what other magical things are?
Ahead of you, the obelisk seems to hum slightly, almost in response to, well, either the questions or your presence, you're unsure. But a bit of radiance starts to make its way up towards the top of it, and then, as it reaches the top, a wave kind of shoots out in all directions around the obelisk, filling the room, and all of you get to make me wisdom saves, except for Elliot.
Oh, goody.
Lovely, 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 lovely.
This is a fear-based effect for those of you who have any sort of benefit, whether it be a bonus or advantage. I believe Paladin, maybe?
Yes. Everybody gains +2 to saves.
Okay.
10 feet of me.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so Lindo?
17.
17, okay. Wilf?
Well, he gave me a +2, so 4.
4, okay. Jaxom?
21.
21. Okay. So, you're starting to make your way forward. This pulse issues out from the obelisk.
Ooh, tingles.
And as it does so, Wilf, you start kind of shaking, and you're looking, and that obelisk is filling you with dread. You don't want to go anywhere near it. And at the same time, the eye at the other end of the hall, at the other end of the bridge, glows for a moment, and the door shuts. Just slams shut at the other end. And you start hearing kind of this bubbling sound from below.
I hate this.
That's not helpful.
No. We don't actually need to get to that side. We could just go back the other way we came, right?
No, we have to go to the other side to do the whole...
I'm really thinking it's a bad idea to get any closer to
What
that.
if we just pop you on the head?
I really don't think that bopping me on the head is necessarily
You
the
just
best.
pop you on the head and
Knowledge
you
Arcana?
Go ahead.
cannot think anymore, and then we just take you across anyways.
I really don't like this.
Are you going to move of your own volition?
Just pick him up, he's tiny.
14.
14. It's actually a fairly straightforward thing, you're pretty sure. The obelisk seems to be issuing forth a fear spell. It's cast that upon everything in the room. And your best guess is that the eye at the other end is detecting whether anyone in the room is under the effect of a fear spell. Only the fearless shall pass this room. And only the fearless are true followers of Bane. Thusly, Wilf shouldn't be able to pass through this room. He is filled with fear. You also get this wonderful kind of this upswelling of feeling in the back of your mind that, well, the easiest way to get through this room would just be to push Wilf into the acid, because, that'll take care of the fear problem. You're picking up dice.
Wisdom saving throw, I'm guessing?
Sure, make it.
Okay. Natural 1.
Okay then. So Jaxom, you seem to be able to make your way forward without too much issue. And as you're doing so, you look, and Wilf is kind of shaking and absolutely does
Wilf,
not want to move any far.
We'll try to push the
farther
obelisk
forward.
into the oil. How's that?
And you see Elliot looking down, almost with this look of scorn, disdain, down at Wilf. And as he does so, he kind of clenches his fist and reaches down, and it looks like he's about to grab Wilf's shoulder.
Not the best move. Pick up Wilf by the scruff of his neck.
Hey!
So, at this point, Elliot has his hand on one of Wilf's shoulders. You have your hand on the other shoulder that you can reach.
What are you doing?
Fine. If you don't want him to go down that way, I have another way to do so. Thunderwave.
Wait, what?
And his hand shoots out, and he starts making the arcane sigils.
What are you doing? No! That is not
I grab his
how-
hand! It's very upsetting.
So that is, I believe, a Constitution save for the people in front of Elliot, which would be Wilf and Jaxom. And Lindo, you're directly behind Elliot. And you're reaching forward to grab his hand as he's casting.
What are you doing, Elliot? Stop it!
13?
My DC is 14.
Okay.
You
Jaxom?
remember your +2?
Oh.
Oh,
No, I did
15.
not.
And Jaxom?
21.
Okay, so that would be half damage, and the two of you are not blasted back, although you get that feeling almost like he was very close in just launching you off the side of this.
I tried to grapple him to the ground because he is obviously crazy.
Okay, go ahead and make me a strength check.
Ah, yes. My very best stat.
I believe opposed by Elliot's
12
athletics.
sound damage.
Aha.
So high.
Sonic
So 6.
Yep.
All right. Elliot, go ahead and make me an opposed athletics, as Lindo is now attempting to wrestle you to the ground.
Athletics. Oh, that I'm so good at athletics.
I am also great at athletics.
8.
Aha! 10.
Okay, so Lindo successfully grapples you down, and as he does so, his Elliot's hand is kind of outstretched, the one he used to cast the spell, and you note that symbol of Bane that was burned into his hand at the entrance seems to have almost spread slightly and is starting to creep down his wrist, almost in little tendrils.
Wait.
I am
what?
not a very smart man, but I am semi-wise. Can I just throw out an insight to be like, this is bad?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So, 23.
23. This is obviously not Elliot, or at least he seems to be influenced by something. You're having a bit of difficulty seeing the symbol itself as you're wrestling with him, but Wilf and Jaxom get a really great view of it.
Yeah.
Can I cast another spell?
You can attempt to. What spell are you attempting to cast?
Crown of Madness.
Oh,
You need
Okay.
ground in madness if I am holding his hand. Is that
He
something
can
would
indeed.
Damn!
I would also
On.
like to cast a spell.
okay. So let's go around the room here. Lindo, what are you doing first? You're grappling with Elliot. He's down. His hand is kind of moving in the way that he looks like he's about to start casting
Trying to
another
hold
spell.
his hand down because he is obviously trying to cast spells.
Okay.
And that is a no-no because he is doing it to his friends.
And you have his arm pinned down with his hand kind of over the edge, and he still seems to kind of be trying to move it in the arcane sigils. The other hand you can feel against your body as you're trying to pin him is starting to move as well, as he's making the appropriate gestures.
And saying, I bow to your throne of madness.
No.
Protection from evil. Protection from good and evil.
Okay.
I pull out my lute and start
On Elliot?
at Elliot, using the lute's casting of protection of good and evil for the day.
Okay. To which, Elliot, you're about mid-cast when you get another wisdom save.
Okay.
Because as you're about to cast this spell, you actually feel this flood of magic trying to push away at the veil that has been drawn over you.
Don't forget your +2.
I'm not sure if I'm your ally right now.
Your paladin friend.
Wisdom?
You are not his, but he is always yours.
Yeah.
If it's 9 plus 2, it's 11.
Okay, so you feel this wave of energy trying to push away this fog that seems to be over you, and for a moment you're about to have this kind of vision of clarity.
Advantage too.
Oh, you have advantage. So roll again and gain that bonus.
13!
A 13. Okay. As you're about to finish casting this and you're reaching out to push the energy out, you actually kind of blink and you realize, why am I about to do this? And you look up and the hand you're about to cast with seems to have taken on almost like this dark tinge, and it seems that your joints are almost starting to articulate and look like plates. It almost looks like you're wearing a black iron gauntlet where you were burned before, and your hand is still reaching out like it's trying to cast the spell, but you are not controlling it.
That's not great.
So we've seen this this symbol, and then
You absolutely recognize the symbol of Bane.
I've noticed that it's slowly creeping down his arm.
You absolutely do.
I am sorry, my friend.
All right.
Pull a sword. And
Okay.
swipe.
Go ahead and make me a roll.
Yep.
Elliot, what is your
That means
what's
I'm
your
going
AC?
to end up holding his hand.
My AC at the moment
And you have advantage because he's prone.
is 14, but he
Okay.
has to get through my shield first.
All right, roll it.
I will go with the 25.
Okay. So, Elliot, you're laying down there. You look up and you see this, and you see Jaxom pull his sword. It flares to life. You also note that as this is happening, the lake of acid around you is actually starting to rise up the walls. And as Jaxom brandishes his sword and it flares up, you get this moment where you can feel, pretty much exactly what's about to happen because your hand is floating, is being held out over the pit. And he swings it down. Do you attempt to stop him, or are you going to remove the shield enough for him to get through?
Misty Step.
Oh dear. Okay. So, Jaxom, you swing down,
Yeah.
and it looks like it's about to bite in, and your sword sweeps by, kind of clangs slightly against the walkway, and Elliot is standing on the other side of the obelisk from you.
Ow! Okay, alright. New goal. Don't kill Elliot, just take his arm. Go.
Wait.
That was the plan.
I could try something. So he's about 30 feet away?
He did teleport to the other side of the obelisk that you cannot move to.
Yeah, but I don't need to move to it to cast sleep.
Counterspell.
All right, then. So, Wilf starts chanting, makes the motions. Elliot lashes out with his hand, and a brilliant flash of energy, and your spell.
Elliot, you are
Ends.
trying to kill us all.
No,
Linda?
you are Wilf.
Your turn.
You're not
Can I
possessed
use
anymore.
dash?
Just your hand.
Excellent. I shake my head and I just move across the room. I pull out my dagger and I tackle him, in hoping to
Oh, so you-
slash off his hand.
You just
Okay.
Misty stepped. You used your reaction.
I did.
Oh, you are correct. My apologies.
I revert my statement.
Okay, you revert.
I don't take his hand
Let's
this
see what happens.
time.
How many hit points worth are you able to put to sleep?
I am able to put to sleep because I just cast it as a level 1. It is.
Ooh.
How many hit points do you have left there, Elliot? And you don't count your temporary hit points. Okay.
Oh, wait. I was hit.
Yeah, so
Wait, that's
Oh. 38.
38.
38.
Are you able to do 38 points at a first level casting?
Am I? I don't know.
That is hard.
19. Nope.
Okay. So the spell doesn't quite get you. You kind of almost feel it taking effect, and you just shrug it off, Elliot.
Then I do what
Now,
I do.
Lindo, you get to rush over. He's used his reaction.
Great.
So
I'm
you
going to
rush over.
dash, get around the obelisk, and try to take him down.
Okay.
I have my dagger. I would like to strike at his arm.
Roll me an attack roll. What do you got?
14?
That is his AC.
Yes.
Okay. So you do attack him. And what? Let's see. Go ahead and make me a strength check opposed by the athletics.
Okay. Strength.
All right.
13.
And-
11.
All right. So yeah, you have him grappled, you have him pinned, and you have your dagger primed there. Go ahead and make me the damage roll. At this point, you don't have an ally near, so you don't get your sneak attack.
7.
7 points. All right. So you start basically hacking into his arm because it's somewhat difficult to hack off an arm with a dagger. But at this point, Elliot, you're on the ground. Your hand is being pinned by Lindo.
I am sorry, friend.
He's stuck your hand down with the dagger. Jaxom?
I head over that way, and I strike again.
Okay.
Strike true, Jaxom, because this is a problem.
Don't drag me closer to that.
It's going to be an 18.
That is enough. As you do so, you note that the hand seems to be taking on that visage of a black metal gauntlet.
Yep.
You strike down with a smite.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm making sure this goes through.
All right. Roll it.
I turn my head and close my eyes.
23.
Okay. So that was the 9 points of damage from Lindo and the 23 points of damage from Jaxom.
9 plus... You said 21?
3.
23 plus 9 is 32.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll get me way down. Okay.
I'm going to say that's enough. That with your hand pinned by the dagger and the flaming holy sword coming down, he neatly severs your hand about 3 inches down from the wrist.
Okay. Oh,
The edges
God.
of which flicker and flare with holy light as it seems to almost cauterize the wound, and the hand starts to writhe and twitch.
Get into the whatever that is.
It's still stuck to the ground by Lindo's dagger, but it almost seems to be kind of trying to wrench itself free.
Pull your dagger first.
Right.
You pull your dagger and
Flick it with the tip of the sword into the moat.
okay, and you tip it off the end, and it falls the now 10 feet down to the pool of acid, hits with a little bit of a splash, and you could almost hear a sizzling scream of some kind coming from it as it writhes and disappears beneath the surface.
That is not what hands are supposed to do.
Whatever. I
No,
pop
it's
a
not.
healing potion and I shove it into Elliot's mouth. And I put some, I don't know, what do I have around here? Sash! I wrap a sash around his arm.
Okay.
And I fill him with healing.
Okay. You were attempting to heal him. Wilf, you can get another wisdom save against the fear effect as another pulse it comes out from the obelisk.
Okay, Elliot, remember you said we're not going to lose any more today, so let's be alive.
So with the +2, that's a 10.
A 10?
I'm not actually passed out.
No, you're not. Elliot, you seem to be thinking clearly again. Everything seems to be okay. That you now are very fully aware that this thing was attempting to control your actions.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Wilf?
And you get a will save because now
Your
you
mind
have
is an
a chance
arm.
of going under the fear effect.
Just letting you know.
He should be immune to it because of the protection from good and evil.
Is he immune to fear effects?
It doesn't matter. I got a 22.
Okay, you're fine.
my.
Yeah, you pass as you just ignore the fear spell coming out from the obelisk. Wilf, you're still under the effects.
Yeah, I am. Yes, I am.
And the acid is still continuing to rise.
Can we get out of here? Away from this?
Are you... Mr. Wilf, are you still scared?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I... It's called shock, Mr. Lindo. I don't notice it yet. I just know we gotta get out of this room.
The mark of Bane is gone from him.
Yeah,
His mind should be clear.
Magical.
If Mr. Wilf is good, then are you still scared, Mr. Wilf?
I am. I am very scared, and the fact that the acid or whatever terrible ichor is rising is also very frightening.
You can't be scared.
Oh, that's
That's the test.
great.
Look at me, Wilf.
What?
We will make it through this. Everything is going to be alright. Trust in Palor, trust in the light.
Alright, trust in Palo, trust in the light.
If only you were a bard that could give some sort of inspiration.
Oh no.
If only.
That would have been really inspirational words if you just were able
I
to
say we
tune
knock
your
him
voice.
out. We already took his arm. We might as well just knock him
No,
out.
I would rather not.
The acid gets
You don't
to
get a
about
choice.
5
You tried to
feet
kill
lower
everybody.
than the bridge.
Yeah, well, whatever. Put him to sleep.
Another pulse issues out. Another wisdom save. For those of you who haven't already passed. That would be you.
Oh, yes, that would... Thank you. I appreciate that. No advantage. Oh, look, a 13.
Okay.
I do love that +2 you're giving me.
Isn't that helpful?
It's
All right. So a 13 is enough.
Oh, my goodness.
As as you pass, and the
Taylor,
wave of fear seems to
Taylor.
just melt away as you press it away with your iron will,
Say it
bolstered
with me,
by
Wilf. Baylor.
bolstered by the words of your friends, and and Lindo. And
Baylor.
as the fear leaves you, the eye at the other end, the glow stops, and the door opens up.
Okay, let's go.
Let's get
Mr.
the frick out of
Lindo?
here.
Grab him.
Yep,
Yes,
I'm grabbing
thank you.
Elliot.
All right, and you got your healing, correct, Elliot?
How much was it again?
Good question.
2d4 plus 2, I believe, for a
Put,
standard healing
put in
potion.
mouth. 4, basically 6. You get 6.
Okay.
Also, I will heal you up some, there, friend. Considering it was, you hurt pretty bad. I'm gonna be popping level 3.
He's hurt pretty bad. He's missing an arm.
No, just 2.
Just 2. Oh,
Just 2.
then I will pop a level 2.
Did you pop him at the elbow or the shoulder or like just straight up the hand?
About 3 inches below.
should be about
where
12.
that mark was.
Ah,
12 back.
the nubbin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get 18 back.
18 plus 13 is
31.
31. I'm at 31.
Okay, perfect. So the four of you make your way off the other side of the bridge into the hallway, which is pretty much dark. You can't see much. Even those of you with dark vision can't see more than about 5 feet in front of you in the hallway. As
Dancing lights.
you cast dancing lights, they start to kind of float out of your hand, and as they go into the darkness, they just disappear.
I'm sorry. Is it me or is anybody wondering?
And behind you, as you make your way into the hallway, the door closes,
Is
cutting
that-
you off from all exterior light.
Since I have magical darkness as a spell, do I recognize this?
It doesn't seem to be a spell per se, it just seems to be part of the essence of this place. But you know, you can feel the air moving in front of you as the hallway continues.
Great. This is truly wonderful.
Form a chain. Let's put Elliot in the middle. I'm in front. And we'll go.
Can you even walk? How is your brain right now? Are you not screaming in agony inside of your heart? What's going
A
on?
little bit. Mostly I'm just really not there.
Full of blood loss? What's happening?
Well-
You have blood?
It was cauterized when it was cut, was it not?
I don't know. Was it not? Look at it. I put the sash on it and haven't looked back.
It's not bleeding.
That's good.
Yes.
Also, magical healing is weird. Just
It doesn't hurt much, but I'm weird.
we'll buy you. We'll build you a nice robot arm. I don't even know how, but we'll do it.
If anything, your arm just feels cold.
We'll find a nice, also normal.
Right.
We'll find a nice artificer and they'll build you a fancy hat. Hopefully not one made with Bane parts.
All right, are we ready?
Oh yeah, to go into the darkness?
Yes.
Why not?
We will go ahead and gloss over the fact that, at this moment, Elliot, you are unable to wield two-handed weapons. You are also unable to cast any sort of somatic component while you are holding something in your hand.
Yep. I
So
can only cast from one hand now.
Correct.
Does that I can't even wiggle my staff that way, can I?
You will have to hold your staff in the crook of your arm while you cast.
Oh, wonderful. This is going to be a little bit weird for me for a little bit.
Oh, we're gonna have to make you a sling or something.
So, you all
Armpit sling.
start making your way through the dark hallway, and you can feel the walls on either side of you as they've been ever present throughout your whole adventure through this dungeon. And sure enough, ahead of you, you see what looks to be a light as the tunnel exits out into a much larger room. You see it is a square room about 45 feet to a side. At the far end is what looks to be another doorway. About 10 feet in, on either side of you, and again about 15 feet further in on either side, you see columns, 4 of them, that seem to be holding up the ceiling. The columns look to be in the form of chained gladiators. you see them armored forms that seem to have these thick iron chains, not only binding them kind of to the ground and to the ceiling, but also across the top of this, what looks to be very obviously an arena. They seem to form a circle of chains above the center of the arena, and hanging from those chains only a couple feet down are what look to be just dangling more of these kind of black iron chains. At one point might look like something might have been hanging from them, but throughout the ages, whatever it was is no longer there.
Have you noticed, and I'm not sure if you have, in my time I have gone through many dungeons. You know, mostly for loot. But have you noticed they're always really long? Like, who buys the real estate for this stuff?
Well,
This one's really tall. In fact, both of the dungeons we've been into recently have been tall.
well, when you think about
doorway
it,
over doorway over that seems long to me.
I think we're not quite in Kansas anymore, there, my friend. We seem to be, like, elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
Remember we walked into a glowy fist portal?
Well, yeah, sure, but I mean, there has to be real estate somewhere, right?
This is a land of a huge swatch of land that's been covered in Bane. He had plenty of time to build a place like this in this place.
Are you still under the spell, or are you just cranky because you're minus a hand?
It's best not to
Minus
dwell
a hand.
upon
Okay.
the...
Semantics?
something along those lines.
I knew a word.
The esoterics of the situation.
So
Yeah, the properties of the...
Okay, so there's
realm
dark,
we're in.
creepy chains, guys.
Yes.
And it kind of looks like something maybe chilled out on those for a while.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Let's not think about that.
Yum.
Can we just sort of sneak through this room? Do you think we
Yeah,
could
you know,
just
I think I went to a
just
barbecue place that looked like this
traipse
once.
past here? Come on, guys. Let's try to be sneaky. Let's quiet. Quiet. We're gonna.
Nope, I don't like it. We can leave now.
I don't like that laugh.
Show
I
yourself,
remember
beast.
that laugh.
you hear that kind of sickened laugh as it seems to echo and fill the room from every direction.
It's been a while, Mr. Seldeth.
You have come so far. But
We're like
it
4
will
rooms.
all be for naught.
We shall see.
You come here to the seat of my power, and you dare to defy my will.
Yes. Show yourself.
A giant man in a mountain told us to come here. Yes, that sounds accurate.
What seems to be this dark cloud seems to be gathering at the ceiling about 30 feet above you. And as it does so, you're starting to see what look to be almost phantom images of a cloaked and like robed form that seems to kind of materialize out of it, looking at you with this just emaciated kind of skeletal grin on its face, pinprick red eyes glaring out as it disappears behind one of the pillars. It seems to not come out the other side, and then you see it on the other side, kind of dripping out of that cloud again. Seems to be looking at all of you, kind of floating around. That
Somebody's
echoing laughter throughout the room.
in need of a spa day, eh?
Hey guys, why don't we spread out a little? Just spread it.
Oh, okay.
It would not be enough merely to crush you here, to crush those bodies. No, I must crush your spirit before then. And continues to laugh as the cloud seems to swirl above. You all start to kind of spread out in the room. You have the 4 columns that give you a little bit of cover as you're looking around, although he seems to be seeing pretty much all of it, because all of you, no matter where you're trying to get cover from, you can still see his form kind of appearing and disappearing into that fog above you.
What the hell?
Good luck with that. This seems to have only inconvenienced us. Some more than others.
Missing a hand.
Inconvenience.
It's not just an inconvenience, Mr. Jaxom, but I would be quite gracious if you smite his face.
Right in the mouth.
Gladly.
Oh, you think it is just me? Well, let me dissuade you from that fact. As the cloud seems to coalesce in the center above the circle of chains, and it seems to thicken and kind of glob together, and then almost pour through that circle down into the center of the room. And as it does so, it seems to, well, with almost like a splatting, dripping sound, hits the ground and spreads out until there's this column of smoke. It almost seems like it would be sticky or wet to the touch. It seems
Inky.
oddly familiar for a moment, as if you've seen this kind of ichor somewhere else here in the Rotting Hills.
Oh, like pretty much everywhere.
And as it seems to harden, or at least as it seems to become more solid, you hear this rasping sound from inside of it, and then you hear this clang of, you see, sounds like metal hitting something hard, and the whole column bulges slightly.
No, I don't like this.
You hear
I really
another
don't.
clang, and the whole column bulges even more, and you start to see cracks issuing from it. And finally another clang,
Prepare thyselves.
followed by a crash and a cracking sound as what looks to be this hardened layer breaks forth, crumbling outwards, scattering black shards of this stuff all over the battlefield. And standing there in the middle of it, a towering, hulking form. Darkened, pitted armor seems to be hanging off of massive, muscled shoulders. Two dark metal warhammers, one gripped in each rotting hand. And this arched back, and these two red glowing eyes as it seems to look out around the field, and it lifts a hammer, and it seems to zero in on Lindo, and it says, "It's okay. I hear now." And that is where we will end this episode of Hazardous Endeavors. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time,
You're an ass.
game on, internets!
Yeah, totally an ass.